Okay. Internet's coming back. Wanting to do. Come on, take two. Come on, take. Da 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 da. My clothes are sewn by rats. Okay, copy video URL. Out of curiosity. Okay, so my live streams are posted. No! Stop it. Okay. New announcement. Okay. I'm so mad. I'm quite mad. Now I've got to wait for take two. This is so unfortunate. Out of everything that could have happened. I've got to let people actually start to funnel in, which is the worst part. We came over to have some. Okay, thank you, YouTube. Come on. Only 3. To be fair, I don't think anyone wants to continue tutorial. Okay, yeah, videos will be posted afterwards anyways, so I'm just going to, I'm going to continue on as if all of you have rejoined. Well, welcome back to tutorial 1. I don't want to say it's my fault. I'm not an idiot. It's just fate had decided that I don't deserve to be a YouTuber at the current moment and said that I should be smited. So, smitten? I don't know. But, let's continue, shall we? Can you repeat what you said about input? Yes, I can. So, input as a function will guarantee a 0 in an assignment. All automatic test cases will use function inputs such as John as a function of x or y will take in John 5.2. However, on an assignment, the only time you will see the input command is when we use it, and you guys will never be actively using it yourself. That's basically all I wanted to say. Just never use the input command. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll stall the Jupyter kernel. You'll fail. We do it because we're awesome. So, I need to continue number game. I already lost way too much time with that quick power flicker. It was enough to reset my modem, which sucked. Okay, so, while. Why am I using a while loop? Well, I have a clear condition here. Is the guess correct? And the user guess will continuously be pouring into this type of block. The user makes a guess, we check if the guess is correct. If the guess isn't correct, we let them guess again. User check the guess, etc., etc. So I need an infinite loop. Pass. Pass is the equivalent of the following. Return none. That's all a pass is. Pass just says, I'm returning nothing. There's no value. How would we get the user input without using the user function? as you can see here, John takes in a variable x and y, and in a cell, 5 and 2 are passed into John. This is how we will be doing it in the assignments. You are not allowed to modify what goes into a function. So if it says x and y, you cannot say, oh, well, I need a z. You can't do that. The autograder will fail you. You get an x and a y. The only exception is if you're going to use default parameters, but that's a future tutorial, so forget I even mentioned it. Anyways, so I have a clear condition. If g is equal to the number, you win. Or you could word that as if g is not equal to number, and then you just keep looping. Now, what's the problem with g? The type of g, if I just quickly go, if I not print g, but if I print the type of g, you can use the Python type function to find out what the type of something is. If I print the type of g, and I type in 25, it's a string. But number is not a string. So what do I have to do? I have to make sure that g becomes a integer. So I'm going to use the int function. Why is there a bar next to the g? What bar? I genuinely don't know by what you mean by why is there a bar next to the g. There is g equals. It's not 1g. You need to sort out your quality, Haley. Yes, g equals. Ah, there's a bar. I see. That's a lot easier to understand. That means not equal to. Ayara Ravi, you are very much correct. So it's saying while integer g is not, exclamation point is the keyword not, equal to number. You could also, and a lot of people say this, while not g equals number. This is also completely and totally valid. That's as far as I can zoom in without like completely screwing everything up, guys. So this is the exact same thing as what I just typed. If you find this easier to type or read, you can go ahead and do that. So while g is not the number, we're going to continue the loop. And I'll explain what break does in a minute, because I actually have to use it. So, or actually I don't have to use it. Break basically says, okay, loop done. Loop, don't do it. When you are inside a loop and use break, it instantly ends the loop, regardless of what's happened. However, that's not what's going to happen. So, what happens when I'm in the loop? Well, I have two situations. Either it's the guess is too low, or the guess is too high. And I have something that needs to happen regardless of those two situations. So, what am I going to use? If. If is what is called a conditional statement. It will take in a condition, and depending on if it is true or false, it will do something. So I'm going to say if, now, int g is annoying to keep typing, so I'm going to actually use the int function on the input here. So it will convert it to an integer automatically. So if g is greater than number, and what do we need it to do? So let's take a look. So g is too high. That is the condition here. The guess is bigger than the actual number. Tell to guess lower, and loop. Cool. Print number is lower than guess. That's pretty easy. Now, you could also do if g less than number, and simply do that. However, that's a little ugly. It's a lot of code. So I'm just going to say else. So basically, one of these two things has to happen. Now, normally we'd just be like, okay, cool. The flowchart's done. It keeps looping. It keeps checking the guesses. Eventually it will break. I could put a print. A winner is you. Also, you don't need a return statement, if you were wondering. I type them because I'm rather anal. However, something about this code, though, won't quite work. I want to see if anyone can guess what the issue with this code is. And I'm going to say specifically, it has something to do with G. I want to see if anyone can hazard a guess as to why this code isn't quite this flowchart yet. Now, I'll put the two side by side so you can take a look. Is there a way to insert images into the cell? Yes, but no. We need another if statement for if G is greater than number. No, we don't. So notice that if G was equal, the loop would break. If G is greater, it's handled by if. And if G is less, that's handled by else. There's no, other possibility. You're either equal, greater, or less. There's only 3 states you can be when it comes to a number. I want to specifically look at where the loop arrows go. So after tell to guess lower, follow the arrow. There it is. I want to know how to pronounce your first name, Miss Ravi, purely because I don't want to butcher it, because you've been on quite the roll right now. So, we need another statement defining G. Look at where it goes. It doesn't just go back to the guess correct, it goes back to the user guess. G never changes. We never redefine a new G. Aria. So aria. Is that correct in pronunciation? I want to be absolutely sure. I don't want to insult anyone, and phonetic spellings are absolutely beautiful. So, yeah! Alright, Aria. I am going to add that to my list of names. Some of you might be wondering why I just have one G at the bottom of my loop. G equals int input, guess a number. So if I were to put them inside the if statements, so let's say I tab them in so it was a part of my if statement, it's the exact same line of code being ran both times. So all I'm doing is saying that I don't need to say it twice. I'm just going to have it be the last line of code that runs in a loop. Don't get too hung up on this. We will cover loops more in depth in the future tutorials. This is more this is more workflow analysis than it is introduction to loops. So, with all that, can I play the game? I need my full screen back. Okay, everybody, give me a number. First number I read in chat is the one we guess. $12. I got 12. Okay. 12. Number is greater than guess. What's next? Aria said 56. That's technically greater, so 56. Number is greater than guess. Okay, guys, it's bigger than 56. Who's next? I'm relying on you guys. $79. I've got a 79. Number is lower than 79. Oh, 92. Sadly, you're too late, Aria. Okay, so it's between 57 and 78 inclusive. 99. Sarah, we're going down. We're going down. 65. I've got two 65s. It's lower. 60 is lower. It's lower than 60. It is either 57, 58, or 59. Everyone place your bets. I've got 158. Coming in hot. It's bigger than 58. That means it has to be 59. And the winner is you. Alright, so now we've officially coded everything on my list of things that Nick is like, you have to do. This is the point where if you guys have questions, or if you guys want me to go over something, this is the point where it's absolutely crucial we do so. Additionally, if you guys want me to redo something with a bit more modern Python, I can do that as well, because there is actually, in Python 3.9 and higher, there are ways to reduce the amount of code written here quite significantly. However, they are a bit more advanced, and they will not work on the Jupyter Hub server. So, how come you don't have something like if G is correct? So that is handled right here by the while loop. Notice how while has to take in a condition. So the way that this loop works is allow us to come up with a scenario. Let's say the number is 38 and my guess is 42, okay? The first thing that's going to happen is while G is not equal to number. So while 42 does not equal 38. Now, that statement's already true, so we're going to automatically go inside this code, and we're going to have to make another guess. So let's say inside here I decide to guess 36. That would be logical. It's now going to go back to this conditional while loop statement, and it's going to check. Well, is 36 equal to 38? No, it's not. You have to go back in. But if I guessed 38, the while loop is going to say, wait, 38 is equal to 38. This statement's no longer true. So the while will only run as long as this statement is true. So the moment that they become equivalent, the while loop will just break. My function is not running, and I have no idea what is going on. So, remember, function has two parts. A function has a definition, as you can see here, define f, and it has a call. So if I were to print this numerous times, now this doesn't print anything, but so if I were to have this, the functions have to be called. So please make sure you're actually calling the function before. So running this, it prints each of the answers exactly as I'd expect because I'm calling the functions to be ran. Same thing down here. I defined number game as a function, and then I'm calling right here. So Haley, are you calling the function? And if you are calling the function, that's a different issue. Like I said, I don't have class until 2:30, so I will stick around as long as you guys would like. So ask any questions you need. I have time. Additionally, I can't get on to JHub right now. I would have to activate my my VPN, and that will stop the live stream. So I can't take you onto the server and show you guys like some of the assignments, but I can download assignments locally to my machine and open them in Jupyter if you guys want me to do that. so you can see what an assignment would look like. Same. It also might be worth, if you guys would prefer, because Microsoft Teams does have the ability to screen share. After this, I could go into Microsoft Teams and you guys could share me your screen and I can help you get the code running. If you guys want that, I can I will gladly do that after this lecture. Just returns a new cell. Okay, this sounds like something you guys might benefit from me, Alright, so how about this? Tutorial's wrapping up. I'll go into the Microsoft Teams office hours channel, and I will start a call for helping students after tutorial. Does that sound helpful to you guys? Because I want to be, It was an indentation thing. Oh no. Oh. Python indentation. Python indentation is absolutely the worst because it is the difference between, like literally the difference between pass and fail. So if let's say I do that, this will actually error because of an indentation error. But if I do this is perfectly valid. Nothing will error. And then if I do this, and so I'm going to guess 100, literally. Uh-oh. Is the assignment on Jupyter yet? Okay. So, we're having some significant issues with Jupyter. We've defined the class. Mine just says in star. Star typically means infinite loop. So you might be looping infinitely. So notice here, I am mid loop, so I have in star as well. Anyways, so Jupyter is not adding the students into the course, which is really weird because last year we did it perfectly fine. We've set up the Exchange folder. I have the database set up with all of you guys in it, as far as I know. So there's nothing that should be stopping you from seeing the course, and yet nothing's happening. And it is driving me and Basil absolutely insane right now, and Nick to a lesser extent, but yeah, we hope to have Jupyter Hub up and running by the end of this week, and the worst part is I'm going to have to email I don't know if you guys have heard the names John and Sebastian. They are our server runners. I'm going to have to email John and Sebastian, basically be like, look, I need you to completely delete the CS1MD3 2209 user and basically restart the server. And that's not a fun time. I'm pretty sure that John and Sebastian would not be happy. But it is for you guys, so are you going to go over local installation? Yes! I will go over that right now. So, yeet. Extended deadline for assignment 1. No. There will be no extended deadlines. No matter what happens, we have backups in place. If you cannot get onto JHub, there is local Jupyter. All of the assignments right now are currently available on Avenue. All 10. I kid you not. If I go into... If I go onto Avenue right now and pop into the course, facing the same problem as Haley. Error. Do you have indentation issues or anything like that? If not, like I said, I am available on Teams. You guys can just take screenshots of your code and just DM me. If that also helps. Like, I will help students one by one. What do you mean by call the function again? All functions are... So, what's a good way to put this? There's a definition and there's a call. So, if I pop into... I just have this quick local command. If I pop into my tutorial file, you guys can see that I define the function. Where are the colors? Alright, I don't know where the colors went, but so I define the function here, and then I call the function here. And you look at the indentation specifically. This is just so it will work. Notice how numbers game is right up against the edge of the wall. By calling the function, I get exactly what I expect. No, I don't. Infinite loop. Infinite loop. We all do it. We all do it. I'm a fool. I am a baboon. So notice how number game is completely against the wall. It is on the same indentation level as the numbers game function definition. So I just had to call it again. Sometimes I hit stop and hit run, and it works fine. And if you change the definition, you have to rerun the definition before you can call the function again. Does that make any sense? Because basically you've modified the tool, you now have to take that new version of the tool and use it. Anyways, but yeah, as I was saying, there's no extensions or deadlines for literally anything. You go onto the CS1MD3 class, all of your assignments are here. Now, you guys can't... no, they're not. Why can you not... That is weird. Well, I'll give you guys A1. I won't do the rest of them, but you guys should have already had access to A1. There are no assignments. You literally would just download the assignment. It's completely as expected. I can only see your submissions. It's not as easy for me to download the assignments. But you guys should have had access to all of those already. I'll talk to Nick about making the rest of the 9 remaining assignments public, but you guys can work on those locally, and I'm about to show you guys how to set up Jupyter local. There's no reason for anything to be extended whatsoever. Anyways, so, I know I have a video on it, however, a lot of people just don't listen to it, and they would prefer tutorials to go over it, and we're not in my tutorial block anymore, and I don't expect... Okay, Ira, message me on Teams with the photo of your code, and I'll help you one-on-one. I want to help the people who were asking if I could show them how to install Jupyter. Anyways, so, step 1 on how to install Jupyter. You go to Google, and you type in Python download. This is the hardest step. You go to python.org/downloads, and you either are Winx, ooh, you can tell I'm tired. You're either Windows, Linux, Mac, or other. I don't know who would want to do this on other, but some people out there are batshit crazy enough. You would then just simply go, well, I'm on Windows, Python releases, you select which one you want. In the course on Jupyter Hub, we will be using Python 3.6. So what you'll want to do is hugging the left side, these are stable releases. You'll want to go down, and you'll want to find Python 3.6. Any of them will work. However, this is what the server will be using. If you want to use the most up-to-date version of Python, you can use 3.9. Everything in 3.9 works on 3.6, everything on 3.6 works on 3.9, but not the other way around. Arya, are you actually calling the function afterwards? Out of curiosity? Because you just sent me your code. However, you only sent me the function definition. You didn't send me the function call. So I keep guessing the correct number, so either my code is wrong somewhere or I'm really good at guessing. I think your code's wrong somewhere. Like I said, feel free to DM me. I will always respond. How do we do that again? Just simply, at the end of the function, make sure you've gotten rid of all indents and just type the name of the function. So you literally just add, I'm sending you, just type that, Arya. I sent it to you in DM. Da 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 da. Victoria, I genuinely think that you've just managed to guess the correct number multiple times. Because this looks right. That looks perfect. Anyways, so you download whatever Python you want. I'm sorry, I'm divided because I'm trying to be a good TA. It works now! Yay! Woohoo! So, you download whatever Python you want, and you get Python. So I'm gonna open up a brand new terminal as if I had never typed anything in. And what you would run is, now with Python you have access to something called pip. It's a command inside your terminal, and if you type pip and it vomits on your screen, you know it's working. If you're on Linux, it might be a pip 3. Windows accepts both. Mac, I think, only accepts pip. I'm not quite sure though. So you would type pip, which is your package manager. Then you would ask it to install, and you just, I believe you just type Jupyter. Now, if you're ever unsure, you go to Google, and you type Jupyter Notebook install. And Project Jupyter, install with Conda if you're using Conda, install with pip if you're using pip. So it's actually called Jupyter Lab. So you just type Jupyter Lab and you literally just hit enter. Can I send you my code on Teams? Yes! That answer is always yes. I will never say no to that. Anyways, you run that command and you would then have successfully installed Jupyter. Now, I set up this custom command called jhub, however, you guys won't have that. It puts me in a virtual environment, mainly so once I'm done with the course, I can just uninstall the virtual environment, and it uninstalls Jupyter with it. However, what you guys would type is you would just type Jupyter space notebook space, and wherever you want to open the notebook. So if I want to open it at, say, C drive, user desktop, I can do that. Command Jupyter Notebook not found. Notebook. Newt. And it opens. You guys literally just type Jupyter Notebook and wherever you want it, and it's as simple as that. There's nothing hard about installing Jupyter. Yeah, I have my jhub command, however, in which opens Jupyter specifically in a directory I made. All right, let's troubleshoot some code, shall we? Um, what the heck? The code should be working fine, Sarah. Because that's literally what I have here. So I genuinely think you guys are just getting lucky with the rand_int library. Oh! Is it because you have a space? No, it shouldn't even be because you have space. Maybe I'm just amazing at guessing then. I think you guys are just fantastic guessers. Because I'm apparently cursed. Oh my god. Yay! I wonder. Yeah, like, I've literally changed my code to be exactly what it is you've typed in. And I managed to be the definition of horrible. Do be wary. Python is mad at your indentation. You only use 3 spaces before print, not 4 spaces. However, that's not what the problem is, or at least it shouldn't be. Yeah. I think that I've overstayed my welcome probably as a tutorial. Yeah, like I said, I'm available on Teams. Email is hutchm6@mcmaster.ca. The guessing box never showed up for. Really? Really, Victoria? You did send me your code. You used the input function. Oh, okay, Victoria, for yours, notice, and this is actually really helpful, look beside in, and in square brackets for Victoria, you have a asterisk. I can bring up the code if everyone's comfortable with that. I don't want to center anyone out. That implies that the code hasn't finished running. So when you go to press run, it does take time to compile, and if your computer is relatively old or slow, you will end up hovering on this asterisk for quite a while, and until this asterisk is gone, the code basically isn't available. This function is just kind of like, honey, I'm gonna wait. That's what I imagine code sounds like. A rather obnoxious, sassy type voice. So, what I'm thinking is the reason your code's not running is because of some sort of compiling error. Now, I don't see why it would be giving you this, but that's the only guess I can hazard. Hey, don't worry about Arya. Literally speaking, all of the TAs are here for you. I'm still trying to get into the habit of doing a good tutorial. I didn't get tutorials last semester, so I don't really quite have a feel for them yet. But as I get going, I'll get more comfortable with it. But I would love to have more interaction, but with with the YouTube stream delay, it is absolutely deadly. Also, I love how Victoria was taking actual like proper notes inside her cells, like rand int generates a random number, needs to be imported, backslash n prints on the new line, same as a new print. Never use the input command, it will stall the Jupyter. I love it. All of the notes that you've taken, Victoria, will in future tutorials, like you will see every single one of those again. So yeah, I don't know if Victoria's still in the chat either. It's just so I'm gonna send a written version of what I had just stated to Victoria so she knows why if she's not in the chat. But it pasted into VS Code and worked. Yeah, Jupyter is, and pardon my French, it's a heaping pile of shit. That's the only way I can. I finally guessed something wrong. Yeah, from person to person, you're gonna get different results. Yeah, Jupyter is horrible. I only did this tutorial in Jupyter because I wanted you guys to learn some of the caveats of Jupyter, so to speak. However, from here on out, I will be using Visual Studio Code. I hate Jupyter Hub. I was never a fan of it. I don't know if you guys will share my animosity, as I call it, but 27, 28, 29. I guessed every wrong number I possibly could. But yeah, I only did Jupyter Hub because I only did Jupyter, sorry, because I wanted you guys to learn what it was like. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go live your life. I'm going to be on Microsoft Teams for literally the rest of the day. Yeah, I'm always available to help you guys. That's never going to change. Additionally, the message board. Sign up for Trello. You guys can ask any question there, and we try to answer it within 24 hours. It's quite helpful. Anyways, bye-bye, guys. I love VS Code. Yeah, I know. I love VS Code, too. I am in absolute love with VS Code. I have I could show you guys some advanced Python code. You guys will be able to write what I'm about to show you by the end of this term. So, Python, or keyword should be should. 1MD3, what's just something, no, not 1MD3. Let's, none of these are not scary. Oh well, I'll go with a scary one. Let's open something terrifying, shall we? Object-oriented. It's not big, and this is going to look very foreign, very terrifying. By the end of the semester, you guys will be able to basically code something similar to this yourself. And if you're wondering what this is for, I actually built a Python bot that automatically plays Balloon Towers Defense in order to grind in-game cash and experience. and that's what this is. This is just a tower. There's also the game and console, which is, I don't even understand the console, so I coded it and I don't understand it. Anyways, I'm gonna pop out now, guys. Bye bye.